Hi, friends and fellow Earth Angels. It's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering July 19th to the 25th, or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these to be timeless readings, mean you can come back, watch any reading at any time, and receive guidance regardless of the time frame that it's marked. So welcome. This week, I don't have much of an introductory. I know we have a new moon in Cancer this week. I am feeling angel love. I am feeling extra lovey. I'm feeling a lot of self-love. On Friday, I had the honor of officiating my friend's wedding, and it's been a journey watching her growth in love and partnership and dating, and it's been very inspiring watching her move through the process. And standing up at the altar with her yesterday as her partner came in was beautiful. It was overwhelmingly special. So I am bringing that beautiful, loving energy into this session and asking the angels to just shower you this week with their love. So the cards that I chose were the Archangel Oracle Cards, additional message from the Cherub Angel Cards for Children, daily guidance from your angels, messages from your angels, and angel prayers. So I encourage you to keep an open heart and an open mind as you watch. All the cards could resonate with you. One of the cards or a few of the cards could resonate with you. So, just take a moment to take a deep breath. I always, when I settle into energy and connect with the divine, I naturally just place my one hand over my heart, one hand over my solar plexus. I just take a deep breath and just imagine opening up to the divine. I imagine my crown chakra opening up and that divine white light flowing down my crown chakra, through my third eye, my throat, and my heart to open up to receive guidance, to speak truth through me. So I encourage you to do the same. Take in what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. All right, so let me start by opening up space, inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, the divine mother, and all their holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and that best and highest good of all concerned. I especially or specifically want to shine a light on the Archangel energy to speak through me for messages of love for you this week. So, that was fast. So, I just took a peek at the bottom of the deck and I'm seeing divine order. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. This is the year of 2020. Hindsight is 2020. 2020, the 2020 vision. And so there's a lot of clarity this year. There's a lot of darkness that's coming into light. A lot of lies, deceit, betrayal, pain, hurt is all coming to the surface. And so I spoke last week about feeling like I just got off that carnival ride, which so many of you, you knew exactly what I was talking about. I loved it. It was the Gravitron ride. And I remember as I was seeing you guys come in with the comments of what the ride was, and I kind of laughed. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to get back on that ride or if I'm like motion stick. I'm still in that phase of, I don't know if I had a good time or not. I don't know if I really liked it or not. And so we're still in this space of divine order. We've been kind of spit out of this energy, and the divine is saying trust that things are coming in divine and perfect order. I'm also noticing the justice scale here, and I mentioned last week about 222s. If you've been seeing twos, it's about coming back into balance within your divine masculine and feminine energy within. I've been talking about this with the divine, channeling it for you for at least 6 months now, talking about balance, masculine energies, feminine energy. So I feel like Angel Raguel is popping in. This is kind of like maybe an overall message. So here's the thing. When I was driving to the wedding on Friday, I was just kind of talking to God, and I personally have been working with the energy of acceptance. And every time I ask the divine to, work with me with their definition of, I get squeezed. And I was like, I remember saying in my head, like, why every time when I asked to learn about like self-love, I get squeezed in it. Or when I asked to learn about patience, a few weeks ago, I asked Mother Nature to teach me her patience. And these flowers in my backyard were taking forever to open up. And I kind of laughed. I'm like, oh, this is Mother Nature teaching me about patience. She's teaching me, the importance of enjoying every stage of the flower opening, and the actual opening to see what it is the end result. So enjoy the process. And so I remember going out every morning saying, are they open yet? No, they're not open yet. And kind of feeling that frustration. Well, when I was on my way to the wedding, I was like, I've been working with acceptance, accepting where I'm at in my life, accepting, the single space that I've been in with the isolation. It's been a little more difficult. And I said, why does it have to be a challenge? And the immediate thing I saw back was the imagery of an orange. And then I saw the imagery of an orange sliced open. And I felt like God's words to me were, I want you to get the juice out of this orange, the nutrients, the juice out of this orange without squeezing it. And I was like, well, you can't. So this is our spiritual journey right now. We can't get the nutrients out of the experience until we're squeezed. So if you can see the squeezing part, like if it's like, let's say maybe you're single right now and you're having a challenge with it, and I know there are a lot of people who are talking about how hard it is to date and to go online because everything's closed. Maybe you're unhappy in the job that you're in, and although it's paying the bills, you're not feeling fulfilled and you're feeling squeezed. Maybe you're not happy in the location that you're in, or maybe you're not happy with your financial status right now. And it's been hard because everything's shut down. See it as being squeezed, not necessarily as a good or bad thing, but part of the process, right? It's like divine order. Things need to come into balance in order for us to be able to get all the nutrients and the juice out of, like I said, if we're talking about figuratively, an orange. So if you can think about your process like that right now. When you ask for something, when you ask to shift, things need to change. So, and then when things start to change and we start getting uncomfortable, maybe like the loneliness screams a little bit louder if you're single. Maybe the financial burden gets a little louder and you get uncomfortable. Maybe the job annoyances get a little louder. Know that it's in those moments that you're being squeezed and the good stuff is coming out of you, which will make change. Once an orange is squeezed and all the juices are out of it, it will never look like it did before it was squeezed. So this is that acceptance that we're moving through, and understanding that life is kind of a dance of this ebb and flow of challenges and experience and growth. And for Earth Angels, we typically don't make a move until we're like really frustrated with something, which a lot of times is part of the process. So that message just popped in. So I feel like Archangel Raguel is coming in to remind you that there is an order, and in it you're learning trust and faith in the divine laws, in the process, and you're gaining confidence as you come out on the other side. Remember, you have friends and family and people in your life, in your neighborhood that are watching you. And there are people who are seeing you struggle and have difficulties and challenges. And as you overcome them in faith with God and the universal love that's all around you, and you become lit up because you've moved through these experiences in an empowered way, you're teaching others without having to do anything for them but be yourself. So, angel message that came out, of course, Archangel Michael, my bud. Crystal clear intentions. Be clear about what you desire and focus upon it without unwavering faith. So this makes absolute sense in why I chose to speak about the orange experience that I had Friday. So when we set intentions, it's important to bring it into our physical body. If you're saying in your mind, God, I want to know life purpose. I want to be making impact in the world. And it's in your head and you're like, yeah, I want to make money doing what I love. But yet your cellular memory is still resistant to change. It's going to be like two magnets. So when you flip a magnet and you try to put them together, it's impossible to get them to match. So your crystal clear intentions and understanding that there's a divine order. It's almost like I want to feel that I'm making an impact. Because sometimes we could be doing it and it's not the way that we expect it to be, or it's not the way we want it to be. So we're missing all the benefits of the process to that point. And so as you hold crystal clear intentions in your physical body, like you feel it radiate through you, like I know, or I am that I am. I know God has a plan for me. I know that divine partner is there for me. I know that job, that fulfilling job is there for me. I know that new home is there for me. I know that it's already in my vibration. You can intellectualize all this stuff. But it's only when you're willing to take the action to make change that things start to come into alignment, into balance. So, like I was saying, you can want these things. Let's say it's, being single. You could want these things and you've got this heart's desire for it. But until you're willing to be vulnerable and put yourself out there and show up to it, it's like I said, that those magnets are backwards. And so what happens is when we set these intentions, God starts to flip the magnet and things start to change. Then you start to feel the pull, and that can be scary for some people. So then they flip it again. They're like, oh, I'm not ready. So I'm feeling... through that crazy description, I am feeling that many of you are upon change. Many of you are on the cusp of manifesting and creating your heart's desires. But it's going to require a level of action. And so the universe has been building your self-esteem, your confidence, your worth, your value, because if there's any part of your cellular memory that says, I'm not good enough, I don't know. I'm not sure. How could I be as good as A, B, C, and D? That turns the magnet again, and then it's impossible to match. So until you're in that space of, I am destined for this, and I feel the pull, and I'm ready to do what it takes to make it happen. So when I left my corporate job as a paralegal, at that point that I was in my life, I hated it so much that I was willing to just walk away with no plan in sight. No plan. And the opportunity presented itself, and they basically said, we're going to give you this lesser position, less hours, less money. You make the decision. I said, no, not going to do it. I don't want it. I want a full-time, full-pay job. And they said, fine, don't come back. And that was it. I was willing in that moment not to make it worse on myself and then take action. I was completely open to whatever happened next. 2 weeks later, I started my business, and here I am. It will be almost 13 years later. So I feel like the message is, you've got crystal clear intentions. You can intellectualize it. You can mentalize it. You know. But also the divine is saying, everything happens divine and perfect order, which I feel it's about to start to come in alignment. And so we're going to require you to take action and continue to show up for it. My YouTube channel isn't just going to grow overnight. I have to continue every week showing up to the readings. And the universe is working with me to expand my reach and reach people who need to hear these messages. And I hear stories from you. You send me messages through, having appointments with you, how my videos just kept popping up in your feed, and they were just what you needed to hear. And this is the magnet. It's like the divine is pulling you in. And it's inspiring you to do the same, right? Some of you are starting YouTube channels. Some of you are opening holistic businesses. Some of you are seeing that you can have a spiritual, intuitive practice and work with people. But it does require a level of you putting yourself out there, taking action. If you've got an idea, it requires a level of you sitting down and writing something out. Or if it's a class, doing a syllabus. And so a lot of us, and I can fall not victim to this. I can fall into this trap sometimes by hoping, wishing, dreaming, and praying for things to happen, right? It would be amazing if that divine masculine showed up at my door and knocked on the door and said, hey, I'm your divine masculine. Here I am. But guess what? Doesn't really work that way. Although I don't ever want to cancel anything out. I've seen the angels do magical, amazing things, but I also know it requires a level of me putting myself out there. And I hadn't been ready. So through quarantine, I had been doing my inner work. And so I feel like, and I share that with you because I think we're all in the space of ready for that next thing. And the universe is saying, hey, it's going to be coming in. You've got crystal clear intentions. If you don't, you've got to make it clear. But also it's going to require a level of action. It's going to require a level of you coming out of your comfort zone, following a step-by-step process to achieve your goals. So that being said, additional message from the Cherub Angel deck. What additional message? Archangel Michael is the angel of protection. He works with earth angels. He's like the police of the earth angels. So I also feel like if any fears are coming up, you can ask Archangel Michael to clear any illusion of fear, any illusion of lack, to empower you within your whole being, mind, body, spirit, and emotions. So when that opportunity or that door opens, when things finally start to unfold, that you have the fire, the passion, the pull, the knowing, the confidence, the self-esteem, the worth and value to go at it full steam ahead. Some of you also, maybe you've done a lot of things and it's just not it's just hasn't been working out, or you've been diverted. Of course, there's always divine timing. A few months ago, I presented one of my mugs that I created, and I haven't been able to launch it because there's still a drain on the postal system, on the FedEx and UPS, which is probably how my mugs will travel. And I, in my integrity, don't feel like it's time to put more of a strain on that industry that's already strained. So I'm waiting, right? I'm waiting for that button to be pushed and doing other things, creating other things in the interim. So know that if you've worked on some things and you've got crystal clear intentions and you're like, oh, I know divine order, also know that when the universe hits that go button, it'll be time. You'll know. And this is where patience is coming in. This is where the Divine Mother is teaching us play in the interim, in the transition, right? Laughter, fun, connecting with the Divine Mother, learning how to nurture and soothe our souls, creating balance from that outside of all the action that you took up until this point. So additional messages. What do you need to know? What do the angels need you to know? So there's a few of them here. So for some of you, eat healthful food. This by no means is to shame anybody. This can be a pathway. So if you are feeling in your mind murky or foggy or unclear, eating some healthy foods. There's plenty of farmers markets open right now. Really yummy fruits and vegetables are popping up. I'm just remembering that before I started this reading, one of the messages was I wanted to remind some of you to drink your water. It's hot here in New England, so I feel like the angels are reminding you that you're purging a lot of toxins in your body. So extra water is helpful this week, clearing, cleansing, right? Lubricating your brain, your system. So it's okay to eat all different kinds of food. I mean, we're human, right? But also, too, it's important to eat healthy foods when you're starting to feel foggy or sluggish or weighed down. So this by no means is to shame you. This by no means is to say, oh, you're not doing this and we're going to tell you to do this. And because that's just going to restrictions on earth angels. It doesn't work. So if you can lovingly see this as you may not even realize that you're feeling foggy and murky. If you're feeling short-fused, irritable, tired, chances are water, sleep, fresh air, exercise, and helpful food will make a world of a difference, especially protein, whatever that translates to you. I know there's a lot of people eating a lot of different diets out there. So the next card was call the angels. So if you are feeling that slump and you are doing this, call on the angels and ask them to fill you up over with their unconditional love vibration. Ask them to fill you to overflowing so that when you're giving and sharing, you're giving to the overflow. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm also seeing some of you may be asking, but you're expecting a response like one way. And I'm just hearing the sirens, okay? So it's like you're asking the angels and you're expecting it to come back this way. But I feel like the angels are saying you're asking the angels, and it can come from behind. It can come from your peripheral diagonally. So be open. And this is why it's important to be hydrated and nourished with good foods, because it kind of opens up and puts you in like a 360-degree mirror where you can see all facets, all sides. For some of you, the answers that you seek or the action steps that you seek are going to come from the least expected place, or it's going to come from like behind instead of like, I want it to come in this way. That's never going to work. Trust me, I've tried many times. And I joke, I say like to cheat the system. I've tried many ways to get around the lessons or the experiences, or like the action steps. And I always end up having to surrender, like, okay, I get it now. Okay, I see it. I'm also noticing that this little pumpkin right here is also eating healthful food with a friend, her furry friend. So maybe this is socially distancing, eating, going, maybe getting something to eat with a friend, or maybe barbecuing, sitting in your backyard. I feel like they're showing me like enjoying with someone or something, which makes sense why it says call upon the angels. So if some of you are feeling lonely right now, or you're feeling alone, call in the angels to surround you so that you don't feel that space. And also too, maybe it's time to get out and see some people if you haven't been out in a while. But of course, I encourage you to do that in a healthy way, in compliance with your state's restrictions, because we're still in a global pandemic with the coronavirus still running rampant. So, I encourage you to do that safely. And then the final message that came out here is spiritual gifts of seeing and feeling energy. So, as you eat healthy food, take care of yourself. You have crystal clear intentions. Calling on the angels, it will enhance your spiritual gifts of seeing and feeling energy, which will also help you to take and know and receive inspired action, right, for the next steps. I'm telling you, friends, I really feel like things are starting to like come into alignment. And so this message is kind of like a pre-preparation of like, listen, these things are going to start happening, but it's going to require a level of you taking action, sitting down and writing something, going online and looking at other jobs, putting your resume together, reaching out to somebody maybe that you haven't in a long time. You've really got to trust that pull. What else? Having hard conversations with people, difficult conversations that you might have been skirting around, right? Asking questions. All of these things are going to start coming into alignment. And because it may not be the big thing all at once, you may not see that the divine has an order and they are moving you along. So opening up that perspective of how things are going to unfold. Trust. That's what I keep saying. Trust. Trusting the angel love. So these daily guidance, additional messages. Again, 2 popped out. Yep. Release and surrender. If you haven't gotten the message by this point, and don't let me fool you. I need these just as much as you do. So this is why I chuckle and laugh, not because I think it's funny, because I receive it for myself too. Like sometimes I need to hear things 10 times before I actually get it. I'm working on that. I usually say to the angels, if there's something I'm supposed to do, say, be, or have, tell me twice. And I've been talking a lot about release and surrender. So the message here says, we shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands, meaning like what's not here, what's to come, how, when, and what if, the frustration, the annoyances. It says, open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance. Call on the angels, right? And as you do that, it builds a faith and trust. It keeps your intentions clear, and it enhances your spiritual gifts of seeing and feeling energy so that you know what the right or the next action steps are for you with clarity. And then, of course, everything comes through the heart chakra. This is exactly how I started the session, placing your hands over your heart and opening up space. So here you go. It's all got to come from the heart center. And if there's any type of heartache and betrayal in your life, or if there's any type of deceit and lies, that energy is like a padlocked metal door that shuts on your heart and locks it. And so many of you are crying out for deeper levels of love, and the angels are saying, but you've got to open up your heart. You've got to trust us. You've got to trust yourself that if something doesn't feel right, that you'll be able to say no thank you or move away from it. There is a level of vulnerability, friends. There is a level of, like, I'm seeing that leap of faith, right? And it's almost like, oh gosh, when I've done these, it's almost like I'm bringing up the memory of when I went skydiving. And I remember that morning, like I was excited, scared to death. Like it was the most weirdest feeling. And then we're going up in the plane and I'm like smiling and happy. And then there's this other part of me that's saying, what are you doing? Like, why are we even here? And so sometimes there's these action steps that need to push us past our fear, right? So we can kind of jump in. And I have to say, when I was out of that plane, and we were floating down, I mean, I was so high, I was above the mountains, and I was floating down. I remember thinking, like, this is the most peaceful that I have ever been in my entire life. Like, it was the most quiet, it was the most peaceful I've ever felt. And it was really a big opening of my heart chakra. I had overcome a fear, and it was like a chain reaction for everything I feared before that. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like fear hasn't creeped in. But since then, I've been doing a lot of work on the heart chakra and opening up and how fear can shut down our heart's desires, right? Our heart's pull. And so many of you have been working through the inner child work, the parent stuff, the mom and dad stuff, the sibling stuff, the bullying, all the programming from childhood, right? And so the card here says, love is the heart of the matter. Your heart is the center within your physical being, attuned most to love. It's safe for you to love and be loved with an open heart as we stand by with perfect protection and guidance. This is stepping into that career, putting yourself out there. This is opening yourself up. Maybe it's divine love, partnership love, maybe that higher love that we all keep talking about. Maybe this is stepping into a career and purpose, or maybe, like I said, it's making changes within your household. Maybe it is moving away from people, places, things, and ideas that no longer serve you, that you've outgrown, right? When you're repeating a pattern over and over again, and you've really learned the lesson, but you may be limiting yourself in the ability to move forward, it creates drama. So, drama is really like a sign. When there keeps a drama with the friends, drama with the family, you're still finding yourself in the midst of drama. For me, I've always seen it as it's time to grow past, it's trying to move past, and there's a fear that's keeping you where you're at, so it's just getting more and more uncomfortable. That's why I say, like, when we squeeze the orange, we don't have to keep squeezing. Once it's squeezed and the stuff is out, it's done. The thing is, sometimes we stay and keep squeezing to get every last bit. So if you can use drama as an example of it's time to move on, time to grow past, time to cut the cord, time to set the boundaries, be assertive, use the drama to make changes, understanding that there are people in your life who aren't going to grow with you. They're not going to change with you. And before you make any moves, I always I always say consider consulting the divine, consider consulting God, asking the angels to assist and show you what the next steps are. But it's got to come from the heart and not necessarily the mental mind, right? The ego part trying to figure it out. All right, additional message here. So this is, what deck is this? Oh, messages from your angels. What else? What else does the collective need to know this week? Oh, yay! Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing. He says, I am helping you heal physical challenges in yourself and others. You are a healer like me. So know that it's through your adversity, through people observing your challenges and your struggles, and overcoming them, you inspire others to do the same. I always say, Earth angels are the true leaders on this planet. You guys are paving the way. It's almost like that lone wolf that goes ahead to clear the way, and then the rest of the pack comes behind, right? But the darkness on this planet has done a really good job at making you feel that you're alone and you're doing it wrong and you're not worthy and you don't know what you're talking about because you're more of a feeling person, right? And you feel things that aren't necessarily in the scene or tangible. So Archangel is reminding you that you're a healer, that you've come to this planet to be a beacon of light. He's the angel of miracles. So again, you can call on him for assistance to open up space for that miracle to unfold, that opportunity to plop in, or, like I said, if you need to have a tough conversation with somebody or you're anticipating a challenge, call on the Archangel Raphael, ask him you can send his emerald green light, or ask him to open the hearts and minds of everybody involved. I remember a long time ago, a friend of mine, she wasn't happy at her job, and I knew she was a free bird, a traveler, and she was in a job that was very restrictive. And so I mentioned to her, well, why don't you propose working remotely? And she's like, oh no, they don't have the technology for that. And she's like, I can't see that happening. And then within 2 weeks, friends, someone in her department went out of work and worked remotely. And then something changed and they got the technology, and I'll tell you, friends, shortly thereafter, she had put everything in storage. She started working remotely, and she traveled the country for a year or two before she settled down again. So sometimes we get nuggets of information and there's instant resistance because the ego part of us can't see how that's going to happen. It seems so overwhelming, or it seems so like isn't going to happen, that we literally can shut down the energy. So understand that with Archangel Raphael, he knows that anything is possible. Anything is possible. And so he's helping you to heal your physical challenges within yourself and others, to clear the way for this action that I know is about to be unfolded, and that it's different for everybody. All right, final message here. Again, we have another big spread. Angel prayers. All right, angels, what is the most important message the collective needs to hear? Overall message. What prayer do you have for them this week? Need I say more? I just feel like, you know that emoji in the phone where it's got like the zipper? It's got the zipper over the mouth, and like you can zip it and unzip it. I just feel like the angels are saying, zip it. Just put it there. Leap of faith. Look at her. Heart chakra open. Like this is like the end result of the frustration, the madness of like, I'm so over this. And this is the energy that comes from it. Like, I'm going full steam ahead. It's gonna require a leap of faith. Now, this does not mean go quit your job like tomorrow. Like, there's a divine order. There is a divine order. So all you have to do to say to the divine is like, I am ready. And you have to not just feel it in your mind and know that you're ready. You have to feel it in the cellular memory, the core of your being. Like, I am so done with this. And you have to be so done that you're okay with whatever happens next. I'm picking up that phone and making the phone call, or I'm having this conversation with this person, or enough is enough, right? It's almost like you get to that space and then it inspires action. So it says, I'm ready to take a leap. Sorry. It says, I'm ready to take a leap, angels. Thank you for doing it with me. I mean, wow. Calling the angels. You don't have to do it alone. So if you're going ahead with fears, like how, when, what if, you're already going ahead without the angels. I mean, we got a powerhouse of energy here. Heart chakra, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael. I call them the dynamic duo, right? They work in sync. Michael clears the way and Raphael does the healing, right? Michael pushes us past our fears, and then Raphael helps us to understand it so that we don't keep going over these experiences over and over again. Leap of faith through the heart chakra. Call on the angels, your spiritual gifts of seeing and feeling. I mean, eating food, healthy food, right? That could be part of it. Really is easy to numb out, right? And emotionally eat. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with all different kinds of food. It's just the reason why we're having it can be the problem. If you're using it to escape or numb out or keep yourself busy, or you're just feeling bored, you could be skirting away from a message of guidance that needs to come through the heart. And that requires a level of stillness and pause and a little bit of, I want to say the word uncomfortability, but I don't even know if that's a word, but that's what's coming up. It requires a level of being uncomfortable to sit with it. And some of you may feel physical pain in your body. It will physically feel uncomfortable. But of course, when you can call on the angels and ask for their assistance and help you with the understanding it, knowing that that's the squeezing, and it's like the orange and all the yummy goodness. If you've ever had fresh squeezed orange juice, like yum. My grandma and or I think it's January, we get these juicy oranges from Florida, and they're so delicious, and they're only available like I think for like a few weeks during January or something, and we always get excited, and that's what we do. We sit there and we squeeze oranges and we drink this juice, and it's just so yummy. But we gotta wait, right? We gotta wait for them to be ripe. We've got to wait for them to be ready. So know that, that which you're seeking is seeking you. And all you're doing through all this release and surrender and praying and asking for assistance and being open to the leap of faith is coming into alignment to receive, right, your heart's desire. All right. I got nothing else. Let me close space. Thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God source, creator of the universe, the divine mother, all their holy beings of light who assisted with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. Man, that was fun. Yeah, and we still got some work to do. So I pray, the stars align, doors open for you easily and effortlessly. If you need some divine guidance, if you need some support on purpose, I'm still online. I'm still doing video chats. My office will remain closed probably for definitely the rest of July and into August. There's still really strict here in Rhode Island, and so if I in some way can be of support to you, please reach out. All that information is below. My subscription program, I am still working with the group, and we're really accessing the Divine Mother and nurturing energy. I post little mini videos. I'm trying to post little mini weekly videos as well there. There's extra guidance that's more specific to the group that's coming in. So if you feel guided to join, information is down below too. I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine. Trust your intuition. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.